The hard part of the process for most people is the first $100,000. Getting together $100,000 is a long struggle for most people. And I would argue that the people who get there relatively quickly are helped if they're passionate about being rational, very eager and opportunistic, and underspend their income. I think those three factors are very helpful.
You should have $100,000 saved somewhere. Make that your goal. 33, 100,000. You can do it. I'll tell you how. You save 20% of your paycheck, and you let the market grow at 5 to 7% a year. You can get to $100,000. Everybody says, oh, that's impossible. I can't do that. Yes, you can.
You'll experience life changes once you save and invest your first $100,000. Charlie Munger, the legendary investor and billionaire, offers this advice: the sooner you reach that milestone, the better. The moment people heard what Munger had to say about the significance of saving and investing your first $100,000, their perspective on money and wealth generation was completely changed. At an old Berkshire Hathaway shareholders meeting in the 1990s, Charlie Munger became renowned for his memorable quote: "The initial $100,000 is a B word, but you must do it." He continued, "I don't care what you have to do, find a way to obtain $100,000, even if it means walking everywhere and eating food bought with a coupon." What Munger is essentially stating is that it is crucial to invest and save your money as soon as you can. Two extremely short yet impactful words are the cause. Compound interest is the most powerful one for your financial security. Compound interest affects the way you think about money after you fully grasp its principles. Compound interest refers to the interest that is calculated not only on the initial amount of money, the principal, but also on the accumulated interest from previous periods. In other words, it is the interest earned on both the original investment and the interest that has been added to it over time. Compound interest allows an investment or loan to grow or accumulate at an accelerated rate over time, making it a powerful concept in personal finance and investing. Compound interest can be visualized as a snowball rolling down a slope. You make the initial little snowball while starting at the top, then you roll the snowball down the hill with each roll. The snowball continues to grow in size as it gathers additional snow. When you finally reach the bottom of the hill, the snowball has grown significantly from its tiny beginning. You were unaware that the snowball required additional work to create. You simply rolled it down the slope and allowed gravity and time to do the job. Compound interest and accumulating wealth operate under the same principle. As soon as the snowball starts rolling, your portfolio's growth rate accelerates and reaches a considerable level. You start looking for ways to expand your portfolio more quickly because you are anticipating the process and it can make you more excited. You can seek out ways to boost your revenues, make more investments or receive higher returns to do this. Because compound interest will pay off if it is invested, it is a potent instrument that might encourage you to think more thoroughly before making a purchase. Math is the simple formula for accumulating wealth. Your ability to save money in any particular time frame is determined by the difference between your income and expenses. You should aim to increase your profit margin, just like in a business, and improve your ability to save money and grow your snowball. Maximizing your income and reducing your spending are essentially the only two strategies to ensure that you save as much money as possible each month. You can change these two factors, which will increase or reduce the amount of money you can set aside for savings.
And I had to, it was going to be a little difficult. And there were things about law practice I saw that were quite limiting. And what happened was, out of my pitifully small earnings as a young man, I kept underspending them, and I kept investing fairly boldly and fairly smartly. And at the end of my first 13 years of law practice, I had more liquid investments than I'd made in all those years of law practice pre-tax. I'd done that in my spare time with these little tiny sums.
Let's discuss maximizing income first. Young Charlie became aware that his desire to increase his income could not be supported by the pay that was offered by the profession at the time. So, while working as a lawyer, he actively searched out any way to raise his income and gave every minute of his time to it, in order to get the most out of it. Through this, Charlie recognized the value of his time. Charlie works for his own clients early in the morning and late at night, which directly increases his earning potential. For instance, we can learn that if people work 40 hours a week at their day jobs and 15 hours a week at their side jobs, This means that whatever money they make from their side jobs or other sources after taxes can go into an investment account or savings account because the money from their day job will cover all of their expenses. They can get closer to their first $100,000 more quickly by heavily cashing in the value of their time.
Do I pay $2.50 for a coffee? Never. I drink coffee, 1 cup every morning. It costs about 18 cents to make it, and I invest the rest. When you're getting married and you're starting out, the worst thing you can do is put yourself in debt for your wedding. I know it sounds romantic to spend a lot of money. It's crazy to do that. At my wedding, I had no money. And I said to my wife, why go in debt? Let's invite our friends over, let's buy a few cases of beer, and I'll order some pizza, and we'll have a great time. And that's exactly what happened. We saved a fortune. I was able to put it into my business and start growing it. I don't like to see people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars thinking that they have to do that for their friends. The best thing you can do for your friends is have a party, have a good time, and talk about your future together. But forget about buying that ring. Forget about spending a fortune. You don't need a white dress for $22,000. None of that stuff. Save your money, invest it, and later you can take everybody out for a great time.
Let's move on to the second aspect of wealth creation, reducing expenses. The following behaviors still put you at risk for financial harm. You spend money on fancy brands while you are devaluing your finances. To cope with loss, loneliness, or grief, we spend money on unnecessary things. We seek external things to enhance or perfect us. We also desire to make a lasting impression on others through our outward appearance, rather than who we really are on the inside. But ultimately, these activities can never make up for flaws. From the moment you wake up in the morning until you go to sleep at night, the allure of luxury and unexpected purchases attracts you. Similarly, commercials always aim to make you feel you're missing out on something important or superior. But regrettably, this relentless attraction can become so compulsive and quickly threatens your financial stability.
And I said, well, what do you owe on your credit card? And she said, well, I owe X. And I said, well, what you should do, I don't know what interest rate she was paying, but I think, I think I asked her and she knew, and it was something like 18% or something. I said, I don't know how to make 18%. If I owed any money at 18%, the first thing I do with any money I had would be to pay it off. It's going to be way better than any investment idea I've got.
I'm the only person without any email, so that, and I'm groping here to pull out my. This is the latest I've gotten in technology. This is my little. I really feel kind of with it carrying that around. I don't know how to use it, understand, but I like to pull it out on occasion just to impress people.
Credit cards work in a similar manner. Credit card issuers utilize a variety of strategies, including no-hassle applications and monthly freebies, to encourage customers to spend money they don't have. Before switching to an Apple smartphone in 2020, Buffett isn't concerned with the newest iteration of the iPhone or expensive clothing. For many years, Warren Buffett relied on his $50 flip phone. As Warren Buffett once advised, don't save what's left after shopping, consume what's left after saving. Nobody wants to be in debt. And for those who are already in it, the stress of making multiple credit card payments or personal loans may be debilitating when your debt is so substantial. Numerous things could go wrong. It's your responsibility to protect yourself and make sure nothing falls through the cracks. So the greatest solution is to look for quick strategies to pay off your debt. Here are some tips for paying off debt more quicker. Pay more than the minimum amount requested. Pay twice a month at least. Third, pay off your most expensive debt first. Think about paying off debt in a snowball fashion. The snowball strategy simply entails paying off your smallest amount as quickly as you can. The monies are then transferred to the following lowest debt after that one has been paid in full. Shorten the loan's terms so as to pay them as soon as possible. Monitor your expenses and cut off everything unnecessary. People who experience lifestyle inflation live from paycheck to paycheck because they spend more money as they earn more. Because of this, almost 1 in 3 individuals who earn $200,000 annually live paycheck to paycheck.
Well, in personal consumption, Warren is more frugal.
Would you care to give an example?
Warren lives in the same house he bought for a very modest price, what, in 1950 something?
I bought it in 1958, and you moved into yours about 1960, didn't you?
Yeah, and I paid more.
If you really want to save money, you can use these tips. Make your own coffee instead of Starbucks. Restock your freezer with food. 3. Create your own smoothie rather than buy one. Make your own simple food. Bring your homemade lunch. A simple method for saving money is to find frequent spending. For instance, if buying lunch at work costs $10 but packing your own lunch costs only $3. Over the course of a year, you might build up a $1,400 emergency fund or considerably boost your contribution to a retirement portfolio or a savings plan. Don't overspend on housing. Buffett, unlike many millionaires who invest heavily in expensive real estate, has lived in his old house which has undergone numerous additions and renovations for more than 60 years. According to Buffett's 2010 letter to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders, Buffett considers the property to be his third best investment ever, and he has no intention of selling it. Living frugally might sometimes be the only thing standing between you and your objectives. Or you've experienced personally the serious effects of being unable to escape a pricey lifestyle on you and your family. Saving money on housing is the simplest and most efficient way to make progress toward a savings goal or your first $100K, regardless of whether you are a single person, a couple, a family of 4, or a renter. Spending less may initially appear difficult, but it is simpler and more beneficial than you might think. You must do every effort to reach the $100,000 threshold for your future financial security. You can achieve anything if you have faith in reaching your $100,000 goal. A strong level of confidence enables you to accept any occurrence in life, adapt to it, and learn from it. By doing this, your anxiety and dread are automatically replaced with increased self-assurance, which makes you love what you do. We appreciate your watching. Please hit the like button below if this video helped you in any way and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks again and see you next time.